What is up? Happy weekend, happy Saturday. Glad you could join me. Let's see, kind of a slow news day, which is good. Markets are a little red, everything's taking a breather. I was able to sleep a full 8 hours last night, so I've got that going for me. That is fantastic. Let's see, let's get into it. Michael Saylor's quote of the day: those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. Bitcoin. There was something else. Oh yeah, we had Elon tweet last night, everything to the moon. Surprisingly, nothing really went to the moon last night. Here we go. The people pleaser Dow juggernaut crashes into the lead with the $4,300,000 bid on the Edward Snowden Freedom of Press NFT. Ended up selling for $4.9 million. Holy crap. Pretty incredible. This was a tweet from the people pleaser Dow, as they were... I don't know why it's not playing, that's weird. Probably just internet lag. I tell you, I had a real struggle with the stream yesterday. It just went to crap. I don't know if it's the internet connection or what. I've got the computer hardlined, but yeah, it really went south on me. And of course, we had Roaring Kitty tweet this out last night, a little Inception video, which then led me to jump into the GameStop chart, and this is what that looks like. I'm not sure what ended up happening after hours, but yeah, big consolidation here on this bull flag that's forming. So definitely something to watch out for. I would not be surprised if we see GameStop try to really take off next week, Monday, after everything we saw with Dogecoin. You know, a whole lot of people made a whole lot of money on Doge, so that money's going to have to flow somewhere. I would not be surprised if GameStop ends up going through a squeeze next week too. Alright, CoinGecko, where are we at? $2.2 trillion on the market cap. We were down 1.3%. We were down about that same yesterday. Yeah, we're losing a little bit of ground here, but again, we've come so far in such a short amount of time. My goodness, we've added just a little over $3 billion in less than a week. So a little bit of outflow right now. That's all right. Nothing to worry about. Current volume, 348 billion being traded. Wow. Bitcoin dominance sitting at 49.7. We're going to take a real hard look at Bitcoin dominance today. There's something pretty crazy happening right now. ETH at 12.1% and ETH gas prices sitting at 110. I don't think that's right. It was like 170 when I looked earlier. We've got a little news story here about the update and how it basically did nothing for the Ethereum network as far as lowering gas fees. Bitcoin sitting at $60,700. So Bitcoin's still holding strong at that $60,000 level. I don't think we're ever going back to the 50s. Ever. And if we're there, we're only there for a split second, and you better buy. Down 2% on the day. Ethereum, $2,378, down 2.5% on the day. Binance Coin sitting at $518, up 0.2% on the day, showing some life after consolidating for the past week. XRP, $1.58, down 2.4% on the day, but within the last hour, starting to show a little bit of life. So, you know, like we talked about with GameStop, all the money that was made on Doge, you've got to assume is going to flow back into the market. A lot of theories that it's going to flow back into all these altcoins, maybe that some of these top 10s, we'll see. I'm kind of hedging my bet on both. I've kind of got the portfolio split up between Bitcoin and some of these mid-cap altcoins that are a little safer, and we'll get into why here. Cardano sitting at $1.39, down 2.8% on the day. Polkadot, $43.42, up 3.6% on the day. That's one of the few coins that are up. That's up 7.5% on the week here. Doge up sitting at 31 cents, up 7% in the past hour, but down 11% on the day. Litecoin, this was a big one for me yesterday. $310 right now, down 0.2% on the day. All right, there's your top 10s. Let's get into the news, jump into the headlines. Mark Cuban invests in NFT tracker Crypto Slam. Every other week there's news about Mark Cuban and the NFTs. That's so true. Mark Cuban has invested in popular NFT aggregator site CryptoSlam. So I guess they're just tracking NFTs. The amount he put in hasn't been disclosed. Cuban's pretty bullish on NFTs. Yeah, that's understatement, I think. Billionaire Shark Tank star, Dallas Mavericks owner, and high-profile crypto fan Mark Cuban has invested in an NFT data aggregator service called CryptoSlam through his venture capital company, Radical Investments. CryptoSlam started life in 2018 in Austin, Texas, when digital collectibles fan Randy Wasinger launched the site to track Major League Baseball champions' collectibles. Wasinger has built the site into one of the biggest NFT aggregators on the web, tracking data metrics from over 50 different NFT projects, including NBA Top Shots, NFT fantasy soccer games So Rare, and art project CryptoPunks. Oh, cool. So yeah, pretty neat. Pretty neat. It's like it's kind of like a coin market cap for NFTs. Pretty cool. So that's our Mark Cuban NFT news for the week. Next up, Dogecoin price plunges to 27 cents, halting impressive rally. The prices of Bitcoin and VeChain are retreating after a heady run as well. Wow. Concern, so scare. After an impressive 7-day rally that blew the price of Dogecoin up 362%, today marks the beginning of its pullback, and it's a quick one. Yeah. You know, we talked about this. If you were up 362% on Doge and you thought it was a good idea to diamond hand that just to see how far you could take it, you're probably second guessing that decision right now because you've watched half of those gains completely disappear in less than 24 hours. When people who have been in the game longer than you are telling you to take profits, you really need to listen. All right, these coins are so dangerous, and you can lose such a large amount of money so fast in some of these coins. Doge in particular has hurt so many people. Me, I've lost money on Doge, for crying out loud, trying to chase these Elon Musk tweets and the momentum. So you got to be careful. The moral of the story is, if you've got money or if you've got large gains on the table, you need to take some profit, all right? Or otherwise you will be kicking yourself. There's the saying, bulls make money, bears make money, hogs get slaughtered. Those words are very, very true. All right, there's my rant on Dogecoin for the day. Aggregated open interest of Ethereum options reaches all-time high. We've been talking about this the past few days and how we need to be watching these futures and options contracts to get an idea of where this market is going. And you can see, look at this. This is where we are right now. This is all the open interest right now on Ethereum in particular. So what does that mean, open interest? That means these are open contracts that are currently out right now. These could be call contracts. These could be put contracts. I think, an educated guess would tell me that these are all probably 95% call options, which means these are bets that the price of Ethereum is going up. Now, I mean, look at this. This isn't just all-time highs. We have just shot past it. So people obviously very bullish on Ethereum right now. The high sits at $3.7 billion with Deribit constituting 3.9 billion of that, 95%. My goodness. So yeah, lot of open interest out there right now, and this is just Ethereum. I have to imagine Bitcoin's probably about the same too. Next up, Ethereum transaction fees surge amid feverish demand for crypto. Many thought that the fees would be lower after the Berlin fork, though so far that's not the case. Yeah, I follow a couple of Ethereum developers online, and I'd never heard any one of them say that this Berlin upgrade was going to reduce gas fees, ever. So I'm not sure where that story got out that this Berlin fork was going to fix that, but yeah, that was really never the case. Maybe there was a theory out there that it could translate to some lower gas fees because it could lower congestion on the network. Obviously, that wasn't the case. The average cost of placing a transaction on the Ethereum blockchain is around $24. So what does that mean? That means if you're wanting to make a trade using any token on the Ethereum network, that you're paying $25 just to make the trade. So if you're trading $20, if you've got $20 worth of gains, for example, and you're thinking that you're going to pocket that, no, you just lost $4 because you had to pay $20 just to make the darn transaction. Whereas on the Binance chain, you'd be paying 50 cents. At the very most, under $1. Next up, former SEC director who led Ripple Action lands new role at Ethereum law firm. Ex-acting director of the Division of Enforcement will join Simpson Thacher, a member of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, later this year. This leads some to ask whether a conflict of interest took place in the SEC granting Ethereum's non-security status. Yeah, boy, we've been talking about my tinfoil hat theories on Ripple and XRP for a while now. Really, this is just one more thing to add to that pile. Yeah, the former director of the SEC who filed the lawsuit against Ripple and caused their coin to be delisted off of all exchanges and people to lose a lot of money, now is working on the Ethereum network, apparently. I mean, wow. Just wow. I definitely feels like somebody ought to be looking into this, and like there might maybe be some charges brought up, because this definitely seems highly illegal, like something terribly shady definitely took place. And we know that this former SEC director, he was a real piece of work anyway when it came to the crypto ecosystem. So what he's doing, joining with Ethereum, is wow. All right, that's all I got for the news today. Like I said, kind of a slow news day, which is thoroughly enjoyable. We really needed it, I think. All right, let's get into the sticks here. Going to start with Bitcoin dominance today. Touched on this briefly in the beginning. What does this mean? This is Bitcoin dominance. This is the amount of money, basically, I'll try to dumb this down. The amount of money, basically, that's in the crypto ecosystem as a whole, that is the percentage of that that's in Bitcoin, if that makes sense. So why is this important? This is important when we're trying to determine alt season. And for a little bit of a reference here, I want to actually add in, let's add the Ethereum chart in with this. Show you exactly what this translates to. Alright, where is our Ethereum? Yeah, that'll work. Whoa. Logarithm. Bear with me here, it's struggling a little bit, I don't know why. Sorry, I had this working perfect earlier, not sure. Okay, let's just get rid of this chart, maybe it's this Ethereum chart. In here in our dominance. Alright, try that again. Well, I had this all set up looking pretty earlier, and then I deleted it because I wanted to walk you guys through it. Yeah, throw that in maybe. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so let's take a look here. You see, we've got this important level of resistance, right? This support level, sorry, right here that we've drawn in, this line right here at the 3.8%. And you can see Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin dominance is sitting right on top of that line. What happened the last time Bitcoin fell below that line? Well, let's take a look. Right here, you can see back in 2018, Bitcoin came all the way down and crashed below this important level of support. And as we went down, what happened to the price of Ethereum? Look at this. Ethereum shot all the way up. And it wasn't just Ethereum that did this. I put Ethereum in here just because it's kind of the easiest to see. This was the entire altcoin market. This is what we call alt season. When Bitcoin dominance falls, we go into what's called alt season, and that's when all the altcoins, which is just everything other than Bitcoin, if you didn't know that, surges. And that's what we saw in 2018, the last time Bitcoin dominance fell. Cool. Where are we at now? Well, as you can see, Bitcoin dominance is once again approaching this important level of support. We did wick below it just a little bit, and when we did, look what happened. This was all last week when the altcoins exploded, right? So, what's my point here? If Bitcoin dominance continues to fall below this important level of support, you can absolutely expect us to enter the most face-melting alt season we've ever seen. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, if you thought this last week was nuts, you haven't seen anything yet. Stay tuned, folks. Keep an eye on this Bitcoin dominance. I will be watching it like a hawk. If we fall below this, my entire portfolio goes into my favorite altcoins. If Bitcoin bounces and we begin to move up from this level of support, my portfolio shifts in pretty much 100% into Bitcoin at that point, because then you would expect to see a face-melting rip from Bitcoin itself if we get a good bounce here. So that's what we're watching for, okay? Right now I have my portfolio basically split down the middle between Bitcoin and some of my favorite alts, anticipating a move in either direction here from the dominance. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I hope if you have any questions, just holler at me. I will try to explain it the best I can. What we really need to know is this is just an absolutely critical level that we are at right now. It's something we have to be paying attention to. All right. Now that school's over, let's take a look at Bitcoin here. We're looking at Bitcoin. Let's jump to our 4-hour chart. That is the chart that I tend to trade off of the most. Let's see. As you can see, Bitcoin, we are still locked into our ascending price channel here, our ascending wedge price channel. We're about to approach another important level of support. And actually right here is where I took a real big position again in Bitcoin. Right here, expecting us to come down a little bit more. We'll get a good bounce off of this trend line, and we should move up. Now, taking into account what we just discussed with Bitcoin dominance, just because if Bitcoin dominance does fall below that important level of support, that does not mean that Bitcoin is going to fall below this trend line. It could, but that's not necessarily what that translates to, okay? So I just wanted to make that clear. Bitcoin's still looking good, still on this steady grind up. So very happy with our position on that right now. Ethereum broke out of its price channel that it was in and is currently up here in price discovery, trying to consolidate a little bit. You can see if we tighten up on her just a little bit here, you can see that it's starting to enter its own little price channel. We've come down here, we're into the thick of our ribbon. We put in a double bottom. We do have a lower high here, but we haven't made a lower low. So what does that tell us? That tells us we're going to be consolidating here in these new price levels. Kind of stretching our feet a little bit, getting used to where we're at. Nothing to worry about. I think Ethereum looks incredibly bullish right now. Next up, we got XRP, one of my favorites. Guys, look at this. XRP is just, it's coiled up so tight right now. We are just locked right into this descending wedge pattern here. You can see our moving average ribbon beginning to roll over on itself, beginning to tighten up, beginning to really consolidate on itself. So we'll keep an eye on XRP. If XRP falls below our level of support here at $1.50, then that means XRP is breaking down. But what I'm looking for more, and where I think XRP is going, obviously, is we are going to see just an absolute monster breakout from this wedge, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see XRP shoot up to $2 on this breakout. We will get close. You can see that was our previous resistance right here. Something to keep an eye on. I mean, if XRP were to break out right now, you would see some pretty monster gains. That would be about a 50% move, right? Next up, we got Engine. Been talking about this the last few days. I mean, speaking of being coiled up tight, look at this. Look at our ribbon. My goodness. None of it's rolling over on each other. I want to point that out. Our moving averages are just stacked right on top of each other. Tight as can be. See, we did have a bit of a crossover between the 5 and the 10 moving average, but that's okay. One, we're consolidating to the upside of this giant wedge that we put in. You can see right here is about your medium, your heart line. If we were consolidating below that heart line in this wedge, I would be worried. If we were writing this trend line right here, I would be worried. But the fact that Engine is consolidating to the upside of this massive wedge, again, very bullish. I think we could see another monster move out of Engine very, very shortly. And if we did get that monster move, you could expect Engine to at least reach $4 a coin. So, currently sitting at $3 a coin right now. You could literally make $1 a coin on this trade. That is a huge trade. Not financial advice, not even a little bit. Just saying. Engine looks glorious. Dogecoin. Look at this. You know, we have headlines in our news right now that Doge is pulling back and that you're going to lose all your money in Doge. Hell, I just went on like a 10-minute rant about losing your money in Doge. But look at what we've really got going on here. Doge had our face-melting move. We came down. But look, we held. Not only did we hold, we put in a double bottom on Doge, right at the 23-cent line. And now, what are we doing? We're moving back up. We're moving sideways here. What does that mean? That means Dogecoin is currently consolidating between about 37 cents and 25 cents. So, if we continue to see consolidation on Dogecoin at these current price levels, I 100% think Dogecoin could actually make it to $1. I really do. I think it could flip 3 and 4 on the market cap, and I think Dogecoin could absolutely end up being the third most popular coin or the third highest market cap coin in the market. Something to keep an eye on. Now, with that said, if you do have a position in Dogecoin, I would absolutely be putting my stop loss at 22 cents. Hard stop loss right there, right? Because you don't want to be in a position where you have a large share or a large holding of Dogecoin if this thing breaks down, right? If you've got just a little bet here, definitely set your stop loss, 22 cents, see where this thing goes. At most, at these price levels, you stand to lose. Yeah, I mean, that would probably be about a 10% loss, honestly. That would still be painful. So be careful. Be careful with the Doge. I would say if you are going to throw some money into Doge, just pretend like you lit that money on fire and you're never going to see it again. You will sleep better at night. The HBAR, the hash graph, still moving sideways. Still in this nice little consolidation here. Not really doing anything drastic, and which has kind of been nice because all the volatility we've seen over the past week. Look at this. Hedera has been pretty much unaffected by it. Yeah, we're getting some wild movements here, but these movements are all staying within the price channel. So we're consolidating, we're following our trend line down. Nothing to worry about with HBAR. Just consolidating at these new price levels. Next up, basic attention token. Also, you know, I've been so bullish on this. I cannot say enough about basic attention token. It is one of my favorite utility tokens out here. Such an important use case, especially in the advertising world where I come from. You can see we're riding our trend line up still. We came down below it a little bit, but we're working our way back up. And one thing that's definitely needs to be taken note here is you can see as we've moved along this price channel, we've come up, we've bounced. We've come down, we've bounced. Up, bounce, down, bounce. Up, bounce, down, bounce. Up, bounce, down. We didn't come back down to this previous floor, right? What does it look like it's doing to me? Looks to me like basic attention token could be pulling the slingshot back. Like it just might be ready to make its move. Something to keep an eye on. Again, just like we talked about, we are consolidating to the upside at this point. Since we didn't come down and meet this lower floor of support, we are now consolidating to the upside. Very bullish sign. VThor. Let's talk about VThor. Oh, you know one of my rules, never ever look back on a trade, right? But I want to go over this because this is what happened. We had a great trade on VThor, don't get me wrong. We took our position in VTho back here. Right back here is where we took our first position, sitting at the 0.147 is right where we got in. Knowing that we were going to make our trade right up here at these previous highs, right? So just a real quick swing trade, buy here, sell here. That's what